Hello and welcome to Linda Z's on Thursday morning. We are here at our studio. We just received a large shipment of Juki machines, and I personally have this machine that's right here, this box, and I just wanted to show you what you get when you unbox this machine. So we're gonna do some unboxing here and show you why this TL-18 is a workhorse for one, and why you would want to purchase this particular machine. You could add it to the collection of machines that you have at home. It is a straight stitch machine, and it's just a workhorse. It is all aluminum, and there is no plastic about this machine. It is very sturdy, very solid. And so why don't we get to some of those details? So we moved it down a little bit so that you can kind of see a little bit of how a box from Juki comes. These machines have very sturdy boxes, very sturdy styrofoam inside, and then they've got these 1, 2, 3, 4 huge staples across the top. So that's why I've got my handy dandy screwdriver here. I'm gonna try to show you how I have, because I've actually had a few of these machines myself. So every time I unbox for myself, I lift up the screws, the staples here. You want to take them out, because ask me how I know, they can actually cut through skin, these things. So definitely pull it out all the way. But they definitely hold the machine in place very solidly during transport from the manufacturing place, which is Japan. So that's pretty cool. 2, 3, let's get number 3 out here. I also have a bunch of tape here across the top as well. 3, and here's the 4th one. It's a lot easier to do than shoveling the driveway. I did that yesterday. So, and the walkway right up to the front door. That was a lot of fun. We have had a lot of snow here so far in Chicago. It's been great. All you people in the warm part of the country, we're just a little jealous of you. Okay, so I've got the top open, and right now we are going to pull it out. So there are a couple of techniques that you have. So you've got your booklet. First of all, your instruction manual, that's right on top, so that's great. You have one of the pieces that you have with this machine also is the knee lift lever here, and this is really great to have this on the machine. There are a couple of the TL machines that do not have this, and I really think since I've been sewing, I've had one of these on the machines that I've sewed with. And so I just really love the fact that it helps me lift up my presser foot while I'm, got my hands on my project. I'm lifting up my presser foot with that. So it's really great. Your foot control, of course. This foot control has a thread cutter in it. So it cuts the upper thread by kicking the heel here. You cut both the upper thread and the bottom thread in one full swoop. And this particular machine, the 18, comes with, and we'll show you that later, a rubber piece that you can put on the bottom here. When you are sewing after midnight, like I have done many, many times, and your foot is heavy, you can cut the thread so without realizing it, you can put your foot down on there. So either you can turn the foot control to the side and press to go the top part only, or you can put that rubber piece underneath, and that keeps the thread cutter, that automatic thread cutter from happening when your foot pushes down inadvertently. Okay, so let's get to what else we have here. We have a cord that just fell out of its packaging. We have all of the accessories. We're gonna go over that, a lot of that. That rubber piece that I was talking about just now is actually that black piece right there. That's in there, and there's all kinds of really cool accessories that come with this machine. The dust cover, right, is on the side here. So it's a very stiff, nice dust cover for sure. So that's really great. And then you have also one of the accessories that is really great with this machine is on the side over here. It is the table, that slide-on table. So that is really great. And some of the machines don't come with that also, but this one does, and it's very, very good. So basically what I like to do when I'm pulling this out, you have access through this hole in the styrofoam, you have access to the handle of the actual machine. So that's how I want to pull this out of this box, is because these styrofoam pieces are sandwiched together. So you can't really pull it out one piece at a time. They're sandwiched together around the machine. So that's what's holding it in a really sturdy position during shipping. And so I can bring this down to the floor level and pull it up like this. And then the pieces of styrofoam are just gonna basically fall off both sides. Put those back. See, I'm holding on to the machine with the handle, which is great. And then second styrofoam, got it nicely wrapped up here in plastic. And then we'll set it up so that you can see all of the lovely features that this machine has. So now that we've got the machine outside of the box, you'll notice, the first thing you notice is that it is sturdy machine. It is a full die cast aluminum frame. That means no plastic, no wobble. That is amazing to me. So you can do all the speed you want on this machine. It's just solid for sure. This is a really, really great machine. It is a machine that is basically a hybrid between a domestic machine and an industrial machine. So you have that speed, you have that strength, and then what you have on this 18 is you have a speed dial. So you can decide how fast you want to allow it to go. Even if you floor the foot control, you can keep that speed very slow if you want to, or you can really like accelerate it very fast. So that's one of the features that this machine has that some of the others do not have. There are a couple of features that are just exclusive to this machine, and one of them is the floating knob here on top of the machine, which is so it's something that can be used in unison with this knob over here, which is the presser foot height pressure control. So basically, this knob that is the presser foot pressure always indicates that there's always pressure on the presser foot. So you are just trying to adjust that pressure with this knob here. And this knob here indicates that you are actually going to be setting up a hovering foot. So it's going to hover between 0 and 2 millimeters above your project. So this feature that is unique to this 18 is wonderful for going over, you know, leathers, vinyls, sticky fabrics like velvets. And if you're doing jeans, denim, and you have, you know, those really thick seams to go over when you're hemming a pair of denim jeans, or you're doing bag making and you have that binding that you're going over, all those layers and stuff like that, that is really a great feature, this hover feature, because your stitches are going to stay even. They're not going to be skipping because you're going over something thick. They're going to be even right over any bumps at all, because that hovering feature to be used in unison with that presser foot pressure feature, great. Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. The other thing that is unique to this TL-18 is this attachment that is, it's an attachment plate that they have created for this machine for some of the guides or different attachments that you can attach to the base of the machine. And so basically they decided that instead of drilling a hole directly into the machine for you to attach those accessories, this is a plate that can be replaced if ever there's any damage to those holes. So it's really nice for people to, for technicians. They look at that and go, oh, great. If there's ever any issue, I just change the plate out and it's good to go. So you've got 8.5 inches from your needle over to this inside throat of the machine, 8.5, and then you've got 6 inches of height. So you can do, you know, a lot in this area. And plus you have a lot of space here too, to be able to thread your needle, and your bobbin is a rotary hook bobbin, and that's a side loading metal bobbin. So fabulous. All of this is, you know, the metal again, which is great. Very easy to use. You've got more feet that come with this machine than some of the other standard machines. So you can cater your quilting needs to those feet. You've got a walking foot also that comes with this machine. So you've got feed dogs on the top, feed dogs on the bottom, and that really helps some of the projects go through. I know I've used my walking foot for quilting for when I use the cuddle fabrics, you know, the minky or the cuddle. It really helps that stay together as you're going across those slippery fabrics. It really keeps them even. It keeps everything great. Plus, if you're dropping your feed dogs, you can do stippling on this machine so well. Did I say, I should back up and say this is a straight stitch only machine, so it does not have a slit to do zigzag back and forth in the stitch plate. It has a one hole, right? Because it's doing a straight stitch always. It's going up and down all the time. So that makes your stitches very accurate. It's an awesome, awesome way to sew if you're doing straight stitching. If you're quilting and you drop those feed dogs and you want to do stippling, I mean, I personally am not always great at stippling, but on this machine, it's like I'm a master of stippling. It just makes it so much easier. And just think about it. Oh, I've got this tray out of the box here. You just have a bigger space to stipple on when you start putting a tray on like this, which does come with the machine. And so you have the feet that you can adjust. If your surface is not even, you can unscrew some of these to make them even. And then once you're done, your knee lift lever can be stored right into the bottom of this table. So that's a really great place to store it if you don't have another place for it. So then we can just put this right on the machine and we can stow away. So that's just really nice to be able to quilt on a bigger surface like this. Great. So I wanted to go over some of the other feet and accessories that come with. So this is the bobbin. This is the metal bobbin, so that's really great. You've got several of those that come with it. This was that rubber piece that I was talking about that you can add to the bottom of your foot control so that that function of thread cutting can be stopped and it won't cut the threads inadvertently. If you, like I said, you know, you're tired one day and your foot just all of a sudden falls down onto it, that would cut your thread. So if you really want to make sure your thread cutter is not going to cut anything, you put that on and then you're certain that the only way it's going to cut is if you pull it out and cut it with your scissors or with the thread cutter that's right here on the side, or you press the thread cutter button over here, and that is another way of cutting the thread. So sorry, I've got some silicone, travel silicone on there. But yeah, so you've got a needle up, needle down button here on the front of the machine, and you've got the scissor cutter button here. And then this is your speed control going from the slowest up to the, so what happens is that allows you to either go very fast, or if you keep it at the low speed, even if you do floor your foot control, you are going one stitch at a time. If you want to take your time on some of those delicate projects that you need to really take your time on, you can slow that speed down to a very, very slow speed. So it's really great to do that. I love to have that option. This bar here is to do reverse sewing, right? So it's the reason that it's so simple, that big bar like that, is that you can use your whole hand to do it. Or if you're concentrating on your project and you don't have an extra hand, you can actually just put your elbow on there or part of your arm on there, and that does that reverse sew for you. So as long as that's held down, it's going backwards, right? The feed dogs are going the other way. So that's a really great feature. And then just below that, you have your feed dogs, up or down feed dogs. And that is fabulous for, again, if you want to do embellishment on your fabrics, or if you're embellishing the fabric for your bags before you make your bags, or if you're doing your quilting. Of course, that's the biggest reason to drop the feed dogs, is to do that quilting and the decorative stitches of your quilting. So then this big knob here, we didn't go over that one yet. That is how long your stitch length is. And so usually, you know, you're at a 2 or a 2.25 or a 2.5 for stitching when you're piecing a quilt. But sometimes if I'm doing my, you know, you want to, if you're doing minky or cuddle, you want to have a bigger stitch. If you're doing top stitching on jeans, you want to have a longer stitch also, because then it shows a little bit more the bigger the stitch. And then of course, if you go all the way up to 6, that's like a baste, right? So you can baste your quilts using this machine. It's really great. I think it's great. And so there you have that feature. That's really great. You do have an external upper thread tensioner, and they call that something different. I could look at what that's called, but it's really, really great for any types of thread, because it's going to feel the thread that you're putting in there, and it's going to hold the thread and not make it slip. So you have pre-tensioner here and then a tensioner here, and then you've got your take-up lever, and you have a window here for how tight the presser foot pressure is, right? So if you are tightening it, it's going to be a higher number, right? Because you're making that tension higher. So you're tightening it to the right. And then if you're loosening it, that's going to be a lower number. So you'll see it go up and down in that window as you tighten or loosen the presser foot pressure. So this is really great, the vertical thread spool holders, because then what happens is you can have bigger spools, right, for bigger projects. And the fact that it's in between a domestic and industrial machine makes that really great too, because sometimes you have curtains, right? You want to really do long seams on your curtains, so you can have bigger spools of thread for that. Quilting, you want to have bigger spools for quilting as well. And then so it just releases up into the tree and comes through the threading process, and then you have your bobbin down below, which is great also. Okay, let's go through some of the quilting feet. They have the height compensation foot, which is great. That's for your seams. You have the edge of the thicker project that can run right along that metal piece there. I mean, it's just really makes things look professional when you have things like this, feet like this. This is your walking foot. Again, the feed dogs are on the top here, so they're coming down and they're pulling from the top, where the feed dogs on the bottom are also pulling through. That's really great. You have one of the two quilting feet. So what's great about these closed hole quilting feet is that if you're doing echo quilting, and so you have it, one of them I think is a 1/4 of an inch away from the edge of the needle, is a 1/4 of an inch away from the outer edge of the foot, and the other one is a little bit larger, so it's a little bit farther away. So you can put on each foot and you can do different widths of echoing around your quilt blocks. So that's very, very cool tool to be able to use. So you don't even need to have a ruler for it, really. You can you can get one of those, of course, too, and use rulers. But what's really great is you can use the edge of the foot as a guide to do your echo quilting around the. So that means that there are parallel lines that are going around the quilt, and usually it's following applique or following some sort of design that's built into the fabric of your piece. So that's good. You have some oil that comes with the machine. That's great. You have a brush. You have a zipper foot with a adjustable guide. So you can. I actually use the zipper foot for my top stitching as well, so that the edge of the foot is running right along the edge of my project, and then the needle is just really hitting it right there, right at the either on the right hand side of the foot or the left hand side of the foot. So you can, and then you adjust this either way, because you only have one position of the needle. You're not moving the needle to the left or the right. You're moving the foot to the left or the right to get that straight top stitch or that zipper in, right, as it were, because they're trying to make putting zipper insertions in easy. So that's really great. Let's see. This is an open toe quilting foot that comes with this machine, so you can do your stippling and you can see exactly where you are stippling, and that's just really great. Again, that would be with the feed dogs lowered, that you would use this foot or this bigger foot, which is a little bit farther away than a 1/4 of an inch. I forget what the diameter is exactly, but that's really useful for those quilting projects. And then these are the guides that come with the walking foot. So that's really nice to have guides. Again, if you want to do different widths away from your stitching, you can be following something that's up to 5 inches away. You can follow that and with the guide, and the lines are perfectly straight. So that's great. Also, you have a rolled hem foot, which is great. That's this one that comes with the machine. You have a 1/4 inch foot with the guide. So that means that if you're doing piecing and you want to have the perfect 1/4 of an inch from the way where the needle is hitting down in the center of the foot, you can have that perfect piecing with this foot here. So you do have a screwdriver that comes with it. And then you have a hand, a little smaller, with 3 different widths of screwdrivers. So those are nice tools to have also. more bobbins, and then a spool cap for larger spools. So that helps to have a spool cap like that. They do offer you needles, but needles are one of those parts of a machine that have to be changed very often. And so at Lindezees, we offer, buy 2 packages and get a 3rd package for free. You can mix and match all kinds of different types of needles at Lindezees and get that 3rd pack for free, because it's a disposable product that needs to be changed often and really thrown away. So that's why they're not that expensive, and we want to make that, you want to keep your machine in good condition by changing the needles often. So this is not a lot of needles, but it's something that to remind you that you do need to change your needles often. So there you go, and you do have an instruction manual, but at Lindezees, when you buy a machine from us, we offer you lessons on the machine for a lifetime. As long as you own the machine, you can come in and take lessons on the machine as long as you own it, and we will teach you how to use that machine. So in closing, I'd like to say that this was not the only Juki machine that we got for our latest arrival in time for the holidays. We actually have a really cute little one here that I wanted to show you also. It is the 710, the HZL HD 710. And this is a perfect gift for a loved one in your family. You could put it right under the Christmas tree, and they would love to have that. And again, if you buy that for someone in your family and you get it from us, you can send them into classes for free for as long as they own the machine, and we'd love to get them into sewing and get them into how to get going on. And if you want to see us unbox one of these another time, we can do that on another day. All right, so the holiday season is in. We have snow outside, and we want you guys to sew up a storm, and we'll see you next time.